It can be a big burden for a team that owns the #1 overall pick in any draft, in any sports league, to be honest, but the Bengals didn't let that pressure get to them one bit. In fact, I thought they did a solid job throughout the 7 rounds with their selections. Offensive tackle Hakeem Adeniji out of Kansas gives them excellent swing depth on the tackle spots, both tackles left and right, and down to round 7, I think they got a really good player in Marcus Bailey from Purdue. His main concern or issue has been those injuries, but when he's out there on the field, he's a difference maker. Now, what I liked most about the Bengals draft was the selection of Joe Burrow out of LSU. When I evaluate quarterbacks, the most important thing for me that I look for is how does a quarterback handle pressure. In the NFL, it's always all about pressure. And if you can't deal with it at the collegiate level, then you have next to no chance to succeed as a pro. Now, Burrow has that ability to thrive versus pressure and in pressure situations. All of the other stuff, your arm strength, your mobility, your accuracy, to me, that's just cosmetic. Yes, it's great to have, but if you don't have the mental toughness to be able to thrive in pressure situations, then it's all for naught. With the Bengals having Burrow, he's a tough, battle-tested quarterback that has that quote-unquote it factor, and he also has the requisite cosmetic things like I just touched on, like your touch, timing, anticipation, as well as accuracy. They got themselves a franchise quarterback. I also like the next 3 selections after Burrow, getting him a taller target in wide receiver T. Higgins out of Clemson. Not only helps him out in the red zone, but also makes that Bengals receiving core even dangerous with Higgins, A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, and a healthy John Ross. I just find it amazing that people stopped talking about T. Higgins as he just disappeared off the face of the earth. He was still one of the top receiving prospects in this draft class, and he's now a Cincinnati Bengal. Linebacker was also a weak spot for the Bengals last season, and they wanted to make sure to fix that problem heading into 2020. And being able to grab both Logan Wilson out of Wyoming and Akeem Davis-Gaither out of Appalachian State instantly upgrades the athleticism and playmaking ability of that unit. Wilson reminds me a lot of Leighton Vander Esch, who plays for the Dallas Cowboys, and Davis-Gaither reminds me of the former Jacksonville Jaguar linebacker Telvin Smith. I think both guys are day one impact players and should really help push this Bengals defense into the top 10. Isaiah Swann of Dartmouth is one of the most instinctive cornerbacks in the draft class. He does a great job of feeling out route combinations before making a play on the ball. And speaking of that, he has excellent ball skills as well. This past January, he had himself a standout week at the College Gridiron Showcase and was able to parlay that into an invite to the East-West Shrine Bowl, where he stood out during the practices. I believe he's going to be a fun player to watch during training camp and in the preseason. Running back Devwah Whaley out of Arkansas burst onto the college football scene with the bang as a freshman before the injuries derailed what was sure to be a stellar Razorback career. I think he's got good all-around game, and being healthy will be the biggest key for him, and if he is, the Bengals will have themselves a diamond in the rough. Scotty Washington out of Wake Forest is a legit 6'5" and plays like it out there on the field sometimes. His game is very similar to Arden Tate, and we saw how well he played, Tate did, once he got the opportunity to do so. I don't think Washington is as polished as Tate was coming out of Florida State, so it'll take some time, but you like the fact that the Bengals seem to have a good program in place to help guys shrink that space between their raw ability and their potential. I gave the Bengals an A for their draft. This was an impressive group for Cincinnati. The first 4 selections, in my opinion, were home runs. I don't think this was a #1 overall type team last year, and based off what they have on the roster and what they just added in the draft, they have the pieces in place to be picking a lot lower in 2021.